And welcome to Big Apple Hockey for another episode of The Final Buzzer tonight with me, your host, John Folkowski. Follow me on Twitter at 92in82. We have a big win to talk about tonight with the New York Rangers. What a game. Seemed like a total snooze fest, as an old friend of mine and Anthony's named Peter Jetter would say. He would call it a snooze fest. And the Rangers ended up channeling some old energy from a former player to kind of tie this game up and make things happen and then win it in overtime. So, yeah, an incredibly slow game, incredibly sloppy. It mirrored what I saw. I was at the game the other night for the Islanders on Tuesday against Dallas, and it was a mirrored image of the game, just with the Islanders instead of the Rangers. So Dallas seems to like to try to make things a little tighter defensively, apparently, recently. So, but we have a lot to talk about here. You know what time it is. I'll get on with that. So this way we can talk some other things, but you know what time it is: the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it's not that there's a lot of ugly in this game. It wasn't a pretty game. But sometimes it's just you kind of have to survive the opposition and just sludge through a game. And you get your openings. And if you're patient, you win those games. And that's one of those games that the Rangers played tonight. They went through the doldrums of trying to break through Dallas's defensive structure. Dallas played well. The Rangers played well defensively too. A lot of the game was played in the neutral zone. Those are very boring games to watch, but if you can win those games, you can win come playoff time. So to get on with the commentary here on my end, as I was talking about before, channeling an old Rangers energy, K'Andre Miller channeling his inner 2011-12 Brad Richards and tying the game with 0.9 seconds left. Now, Richards didn't tie the game with that much time left. But I'll tell you right now, K'Andre Miller just within the last second of a game, tying it for the Rangers. He didn't win it like Richards won it against Arizona in that game against the Coyotes back in 2011, 2012. But you know what? You got to get that shot on net. And sometimes goalies, when they let their guard down with that much time left because they think that they're out. And nope, they're not out. They're not out. I thought I was out, but they pulled me back in. I just felt that reference right there when that happened. So I couldn't believe that Miller tied it. The first thing I thought, I was like, okay, like this looks like it's going to be well within time to have it count and stand, and we're going to go to overtime. And then they went to the first replay, and I saw 0.9 left. I was like, yes, more than enough time. We're good. We're good. So big goal from K'Andre Miller, who puts it on net. That's all you have to do. And the Minnesota Wild have just iced the game against the Islanders. They just scored an empty netter to go 3-1. So, Ranger fans, this is a real good night for everybody. The Rangers win. The Islanders lose in regulation. Doesn't matter if Dallas gets a point or not. Doesn't matter to us. Doesn't really affect the standings in any way. But Kirill Kaprizov gets his second point of the game. He had an assist on the goal that put them ahead 2-1. But, and this is actually a great stat from Diane here. Miller's tying goal was the latest goal in a game in franchise history in regulation. That's amazing to think about. So, and you know what? We'll talk about this from Gregory. I love that because I saw that score and I couldn't believe it myself. But we'll talk about this in a little while. So, and then moving on from K'Andre Miller, because there's not a whole lot to say there otherwise. But the Rangers played a near flawless defensive effort. Not that the Dallas didn't really generate many high danger chances. They only had a few. I mean, the game was primarily played in the neutral zone. And you know what? Sometimes you're going to have to play those games. They're boring. They're not fun to watch, but you have to play them sometimes. And the Rangers were able to play it tonight. So good for the Rangers to be able to do that. So that was big for the Rangers to be able to play that way defensively. Igor made some big saves and kept them in it, but he wasn't really tested too much either. Him and Ottinger had relatively slow nights, relatively slow. So, got to go move on from that. But, Adam Fox just absolutely, I don't know why this one is not being hidden. Okay. This is weird. I'm trying to pull this comment up and it's just not working. No wonder why it's a ticker. It's not supposed to be a ticker. There we go. So Adam Fox with a brilliant play in OT to score the game winner. And the move he made after that scramble in front was just incredible. So amazing move by Adam Fox to get that backhand. He has a 6-game point streak, and he scored his 9th goal of the year. So Adam Fox is looking really good. If you're looking at the Norris Trophy voting, he's got to be right near the top right now. He's playing a hell of a lot better defensively. He's not getting caught back, caught up ice. His two-way game's playing a lot better. And yes, Keandre Miller, 5-game point streak. But if you look at his points, his totals, and I'll pull them up right now for everybody here. So this way everybody has it. But Keandre Miller on the season, 22 points in 42 games. He's on pace for over 40 points. Yes, sir. He is on pace for over 40 points. We'll give you an exact number. So 22 divided to 42. Divided that by. So he's on pace for 43 points, Keandre Miller. Oh, so Lindgren's was 0.4. Okay. All right. Lindgren has the fastest. And Fox can't win it because he already did. Now, I don't think that. I really don't think that could be the case. I hope to God that's not the initiative of the Norris voters, but you can't do that. Just give it to somebody else because a repeat winner would happen. No, that needs to stop. If that is the case, that needs to stop. So, but that was really all of the good that I had.
That's good.
And we'll move on to the bad. So, for the bad, anemic offensively for a majority of the game, and they didn't generate a lot of high danger chances. So, in this, then you have a game, again, like I said, played the majority of it in the neutral zone. Not a lot of chances. You just can't. You can't win when you're not generating high danger chances. Now, this was the problem. This is the problem that comes up with this team, and it was this way last year leading up to the deadline, and just that they're not generating enough high danger chances. I don't think it's as bad as it was last year, but I do think that they need to generate more chances. I think that's a big issue for them. So I don't really like that at all. And the other thing that I wanted to go over, we'll go over very quickly, because what more can be said about this powerless play? 0-4 needs to be changed. They're not playing good. They're not playing good on that power play. Vinny Trocheck is not a fit. I can't. I think that it's time to have Lafreniere and Kakko on that first unit. I would move Chris Kreider off the first unit. I would move Vinny Trocheck off the first unit, and I would switch the 2 units around and try to give them more looks and more timing. I would take Jacob Trouba off there, and I would put Keandre Miller on that second unit. Because the way that the way that the two units are functioning, it's not working. It's not working at all. Things need to change drastically. So that's basically what I was talking about, Tomas. Is you gotta change Trocheck off there, and you gotta get Chris Kreider off there as well, I would say, and put Capo Caco and Alexis Lafreniere on there. And you need guys that can move the puck and do other things. And yeah, I get it. You need a net front presence, but Chris Kreider hasn't been the net front presence this year that he was in previous years. So why not change it up and see what happens? The other thing, which I didn't put a caption for, but the Julien Gauthier injury. Gautier's been playing well. We don't want to see that. You want to hope that he's going to be all right. We obviously hope Chris Kreider is going to be all right, and he's going to be back soon. Jake Leschyshyn might end up playing. We didn't think that he would be, playing for this team, but Jake Leschyshyn, their newest waiver claim, might end up actually playing some games. Not really an NHL player, but injuries are starting to happen. So the Rangers have been a healthy team all year, like they said the other night, and now all of a sudden, bang, injuries. Bang, injuries. So not exactly a fun game for the most part of it. Yeah, and I'm with you on this. Why is Gustav Riedel not called up? Why would you not play him? I don't understand it. Why would you not play him? Just doesn't make any sense to me. I liked Offman's performance at the World Juniors. Not a ton of goal scoring, but showed that he's more than just a goal scorer and a sniper, which I liked. Because that's what you want to see from Offman. You want to see his offensive game grow overall. We know about the shot. We know about his goal scoring ability. We know about his ability to find dead space. Yeah, that's great. But you want to see him grow offensively. It's like Matt Barzal. Matt Barzal is a great playmaker, but no goal scoring ability to him whatsoever. And he's never grown in that facet. So good to see Offman grow a bit. Now obviously we're on to the, that was all the bad. So this is going to be, just the Q&A time from here on out. So Gregory, yeah, how did Seattle pull that off? A 3-0 victory over Boston in Boston? When was the last time that happened? When was the last time Boston got shut out on home ice? Had to be sometime maybe earlier on last year. I honestly, I don't even know. I'd have to go back and look that up. Yeah, Ellie Tolvanen. I know you're going to bring up all the Finns. But yes, I do agree. Tolvanen is looking really good in Seattle. And I said that at the game, or was it on the stream or at the game? I can't remember where I said it to Marc and Anthony. But, yeah, Nashville looks real dumb. I think it was on the stream yesterday. But Nashville looks real dumb getting rid of Tolvanen when they were starving for. Yes, it was on the stream yesterday. We were talking about Nashville and whether or not they were going to make the playoffs in the bar talks. That's right. Now I remember. Yeah. Trade Blade for a sack of White Castles and bring Cooley up. Yeah, I'm all for that. Get rid of Blay. Blay is making almost $2 million a year to just be garbage at this point. Just let him go. That experiment's got to end. Just get rid of him. I'd rather see what Cooley can do anyway at this point. Get rid of Blay. So, yes, please do. Please do. We're going to be here for a bit. We're going to talk hockey. So, definitely, Diane, switch over. And Matt, yeah, you were at that game. So, yeah, that was a fun game to go to for you, or at least a fun ending, I should say. the final 3 minutes of the game, I should say, final 4 or whatever minutes of the game were fun. So, should have traded Blay and kept Reeves. You know what? Yeah, I kind of agree with this. I agree with it. But I don't know who would have taken Sammy Blay at this point, because Sammy Blay isn't bringing you anything. So we'd be lucky to get anything for him. You probably have to pay to get rid of him. So, you went to the game. You were 59 minutes late. No, you did not miss anything. No, not in the first 59 minutes. If you missed the final 4 or so minutes of the game, then you missed everything. And by 4 minutes, I'm including the overtime. So, one thing that you definitely need to look at if you're Chris Drury is getting some scoring depth. I would wonder if Andrei Kuzmenko, the price on him would be something that the Rangers would pay. He looks like he could be real. He could be a real good player. I mean, he's almost a point per game right now. He's a right winger, which the Rangers need. He could score goals. He could put up points. So I wonder what the price would be on him. David, I know. I get the joke, but I'm just saying the last 4 minutes of the game, including the overtime, were really the point where the action was. So I don't even think it was that many minutes in overtime. But Adam Fox. So so let's see the points tonight were registered as. So the Keandre Miller goal was assisted by Trocheck and Fox. And the Fox goal was assisted by Panarin and Zibanejad. So Adam Fox now has 44 points in 43 games. He's a point per game defenseman right now. So scoring depth, has to be first priority. Yeah, I would agree. You're looking at a team that needs production on the right wing. They've got to at least get a middle six right winger. Yeah, I thought Lafreniere was okay in this game. I didn't think he was bad. I didn't think he was great. I think he was decent in this game. I do agree with that. He showed a little more life. He nailed someone along the boards, too. Who the hell was it that he was? Oh, he hit Nils Lundqvist. That's right. He hammered him. So I thought that was a pretty good hit. But we need more from Lafreniere. We need more. He's got to be better. It's got to be better. Hey, Kurt. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let me get rid of this little banner here because we're done with that. And you know what? And that's what I was just talking about, Sean. I think Andrei Kuzmenko would be the guy that they would look for. I don't think Horvat's really the answer. I think Kuzmenko might fit more, and I think he would cost less. I think Kuzmenko could come in and really, really help this team out. Yeah, I didn't like Panarin's game tonight. Again, too many turnovers, too many dumb plays where he just floating lazy passes across the ice. Thankfully, they didn't result in any high danger chances against. But yeah, I didn't like his game tonight at all. And I do agree with this though that we need to be patient with Lafreniere, but I still need more from him. Still need more. I wouldn't trade for JT Miller. The only way I would trade for JT Miller is if Vinny Trocheck is going back the other way. It's the only way it can happen. And I don't know if you can really even do that because of the fact that one, I believe Trocheck has a no movement clause, and he's not going to approve for Vancouver. I can tell you that right now. He's just not. And the cap it won't work. Yeah, no movement clause for the first 3 years of the deal. I don't understand why they continue to do this with the no movement clauses. So I do agree with Panarin being bad the last couple of games. And yeah, and Panarin definitely misses the net a lot. Totally agree with that. I've been calling for this all night, Michael. All night. needs to it needs to happen. Lindgren did play very well, and the penalty that they called on Lindgren leading to Sagan's power play goal was a joke. That was a joke. Like, what kind of soft penalty call is that with two guys battling each other in the front of the net? Let them play, especially when you swallowed the whistle for most of that game, and the only two calls prior to that point were the delay of game call and then the Suter roughing call on Lafreniere where he forearmed him in the face. So that you have to get, you have to call. So yeah, it's not a terrible contract, but I just don't like giving out no movement clauses. I just think it's stupid. You know, and yeah, I agree. If you were going to call anything here, Sean's right. Just if you were going to call anything on Lindgren there, you get matching penalties to both of them because they're both battling, they're both fighting each other in front. Why is it that one guy is getting called? What? Because the cross check that where the stick broke? Okay, so then call a cross check then. If you're going to call roughing, you got to call them both. Yeah, and yep, just as you and I thinking the same thing on the same exact time. So you gotta call them both there if you're gonna call roughing. I don't agree with the cross-checking call because it's not that happens all the time, and then sticks break. So you're gonna call it because the stick broke? I mean, if he cross-checked him and he knocked him down hard, okay, I get that at that point and the puck's not there, but they're fighting for position in front. I should have just let it go or call them both. So Tomas says keep the lines Lavzeb Kako, Brad Hedel Krav, Kreider Trocheck VC, and I like those lines. I like those lines. I would like to add Kuzmenko there. I can tell you that right now. I would love to add Kuzmenko there. I don't think the Rangers are going to do it, but that's a guy that I would love to get. And he's only 26 too, so he's still relatively young. He still fits within the Rangers time frame. But we're going to go around the league and look at some scores just because it's a nice little night to do that. So the Rangers obviously win 2-1. Calgary and St. Louis are on right now. That's a 4-1 lead for Calgary. Walker Duehr gets his first NHL goal, which is his first NHL point. Jake Neighbors for St. Louis. Dylan Dubé with his 9th for Calgary. Blake Coleman's 8th for Calgary. Dylan Dubé gets his 10th for Calgary. Okay. Colorado just tied the Avalanche, the Blackhawks before. They were down 2-1. You know, now McKinnon's back for Colorado. Rantanen's back. Makar, got his 11th. So, Colorado is now starting to get back to form. They get Landeskog back. They're going to look a lot more dangerous. But the Senators are up 2-1 on the Coyotes. Brady Tkachuk with his 15th. Derek Brassard with the 6th for Ottawa. Dylan Guenther with his 4th for Arizona. World Junior standout right there, Dylan Guenther for Canada. So, I like Tyler Mott at the deadline. Go get him back. Go get him back. The Canucks lost to the Lightning 5-4. Let's see who had points in that one. But JT Miller had his 16th goal of the year in that game. Andrei Kuzmenko had an assist. Yes, he did. He had his 19th assist and 36 point now in 40 games. So I do like Tyler Mott as a deadline acquisition. The Panthers are up 1-0 on the Golden Knights. Nick Cousins with the goal. Hurricanes beat the Blue Jackets. What a shock there, 6-2. What a shock. So that's a nothing burger of a score right there. The Canadiens beat the Predators 4-3. Ooh, that's not good for Nashville. That is not good for Nashville. The only thing that's good for them is that St. Louis is about to lose, so they're not going to lose too much ground on St. Louis. But Calgary is going to win. They're going to lose ground on Calgary. And Edmonton's idle tonight. Jets beat the Sabres 4-2. Red Wings beat a pretty good Maple Leafs team 4-1, which is kind of shocking. So those are all the scores from around the league. Definitely like what I saw from the Rangers in terms of that win. Just getting that comeback and that moxie to come back and just not quit on the play and score. So, was there a PK Subban tribute in Montreal? No, there will not. No, there was not. Probably. They'll get Marc saying they'll get Mott back. Yeah. I would like to hope that they get Mott back. That would be nice. It would be really, really nice to get Tyler Mott back. Hey, the football Jets were about a 500 team this year. Leave them alone. I'm not even a Jet fan. I'm a Giant fan, so. But they actually won some games this year, the Jets. Shocking. Excuse me. I think they were, a 7-10 team? Closer to 500. Not. They were at one point a 500 team. They were above a 500 team. What's the standings in the NHL or NFL? It's not on this app. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, definitely. Remember just to like, share, and subscribe if you can. That'd be great. Yeah, Ottinger was really good, and Dallas just limited the scoring chances. Yeah, Sean, I think that I think that they can beat Minnesota. I'm not scared of Minnesota. I'm not. And now that they're going to have Adoree Jackson and Xavier McKinney back for that game, I feel a hell of a lot more confident against them because Minnesota. It took Minnesota everything. It took them a last-second field goal to beat the Giants. So. Mott wanted to be back here. I think they just made the wrong decision in re-signing Sammy Blais over him. Shouldn't have done that. Yeah, Zach Wilson is awful. And yeah, more MILFs than TDs for the Jets with Zach Wilson. Mikey D asks what I think they signed Keandre Miller to. I think they might try to bridge Keandre Miller until they can get some more cap space and get rid of somebody like Jacob Trouba, who takes up a ton of cap to not be nearly as good as he should be for that cap hit. So. Think that's bad. Try being a Broncos fan with trash can Russell Wilson. Oof. Yikes. Nope. 2 years, $9 million bridge for Keandre Miller. I like that, actually. I do. I think that's good. And it gives him motivation to prove that he can live up to, a big raise. And then if he earns the big raise, you pay him the big money. Diane, I don't think they're going to have to buy out Trouba to re-sign Miller. I think they're going to trade him. I think he gets traded. Yeah, and he signed for the Sens. He signs with the Sens for $1.5 million. They should have just gotten rid of Sammy Blais at that point. I don't understand why they kept Blais. Oh, I know why they kept Blais, but it's just not a great move. Dobson got 3 years, $12 million. Yeah, you know what? Something like that might be, it might be all, what you're looking at. I would love $4 million for Keandre Miller. Yeah, I think that I don't know if Sammy Blais is ever going to have that same spark again without the after the ACL injury, and that's terrible that PK Sluban friggin' got away with that garbage. And just terrible. Terrible. And you know what? It would have been hard to trade Sammy Blais, but I think at that point, you know that Tyler Mott's the better player. Why not keep Tyler Mott? To me, I felt like they made too many dumb moves, just trying to cater to the cap and keeping certain guys instead of just, moving on from a guy like Blais. Here's my issue with that. Why did they have to show a level of commitment to Sammy Blais? Yeah, I get it. It was part of the Buchnevich trade. But why do you need to show a level of commitment to a guy who you signed on a small deal, who is coming off of a major ACL surgery? Why did you need to sign him to that? They didn't need to do it. They could have just let him go, keep Mott, and just said, hey, you know what? We fumbled the bag on the Buchnevich trade. Let's keep the better player that's going to make us a better team going forward and not have to worry about a guy whose career might potentially be on the downslide because of a major injury. So, to me, I don't get it. Whatever. At this point, there's nothing we can do about it. Just hope that they don't re-sign Sammy Blais after this year because it just doesn't make sense for this team right now. Tyler Mott makes a ton of sense. Nick Bonino would make a ton of sense. I still think that they need to get faster, so I would love to bring back Mott, maybe even bring back Bonino on top of that. That strengthens your bottom six. I like Kuzmenko. I just don't know if they're going to go give up the assets to go get Kuzmenko. Because I think he helps big time, Kuzmenko. Big time. I don't think they re-sign Hayek. I think he's got to finally go this time. Same reason they don't send out Hayek. They don't want to lose him for nothing. His Q was re-signed and let him go for nothing. Didn't let him go for nothing. I know that. I know this is the reasoning, but you let him go for nothing at this point then. That's it. And just let him go. If it was somebody who wasn't coming off of a major injury and he wasn't productive, and you're just saying, well, he showed signs, but he didn't have a great year overall, you still think that there's room for improvement, then okay, I get that at that point. But there's a major ACL injury. Why the hell are we worrying about Sammy Blais at that point on a major ACL injury? It doesn't make sense. And you know what? Harper has played well. He really has. It's like he's found a home. And yeah, I would go with Hayek signing in Europe, and I'd sure as hell trade him for Selma if I could. I think Hollywood would reject that offer, though. I'll tell you that right now. If this was Who Says No, Hollywood says no to that one. Absolutely, hands down. Selma Hayek is still an absolute beaut at her age. Nemeth, they had to. That was a terrible, terrible contract. I don't know what they were thinking giving him that deal. Like, what? Why? Like, I get the whole, I want someone Swedish for Nils Lundqvist, but what were you doing with that? And you just bid against yourself for a player that you didn't need, and then you lost John Merrill, who ended up scoring against the Rangers. Yeah, and Blais plays with his head down. He's bad with that. Bobby Ganoush, you're right about that. So this is the third. You're right. It's the third time he's done it. He needs to. It was Hedel, I think, last year, right? Yes, Trouba has a no movement clause. It expires after the following season, after the 2023-24 season. So I don't think Hayek was terrible, but I don't think he was good either. He was just there. I think he actually played better than last year, but I just think he was just not good enough to justify keeping around. He's like in baseball, they refer to players that are not major league caliber, but they're also too good for the minors as quadruple A players. Hayek is a quadruple A player. Like he'll look good in the AHL, but he's not an NHL caliber defenseman by any means. If he's on your roster, he should be a seventh defenseman and nothing more. Because if he's playing regular minutes in your top six, unless you have an absolute stacked unit around him, I don't think you want to see him in your lineup. That's just me. I don't think he's good enough. I don't think he moves the puck well enough. You've said this, Matt, like 5 times already, I think. I don't know if it's just spamming comments now on accident or if your browser's messing up or something, but yeah. And yeah, I do think there's probably a concussion for Gauthier. That sucks. He was actually playing well. I don't know if Miller's going to win a Norris one day. I just think that it you have so many great defensemen in this league right now, and he's going to end up having to just go through a ton of competition. Really, you have Fox, you have Makar, you have Dahlin, Heiskanen to deal with. I think Heiskanen's going to get better offensively. You're going to have Quinn Hughes offensively to deal with. And then you're looking at, Luke Hughes, I think, is going to end up being a stud. I think Luke might end up being even better than Quinn. What's funny is I said that Luke would be like a top 4 defenseman, like a number 2 or number 3. Luke Hughes is looking like he could be a legitimate number 1. And his skating is great. He's got size, and he's far better offensively than I thought he would ever be. Yeah, I do agree with this. He needs to get away from Trouba. Like, get him away from Trouba. Miller needs to get the hell away from him. I would love to see a Miller-Schneider pairing going forward, and I think that could be your top 4 going forward, especially once Trouba's gone. Schneider, I think, will be able to step in. I think Schneider's developed to the point where I think he's ready for top 4 minutes. I really do. I think that the skating is far better than I ever thought that Schneider would be. I think that Schneider shows great poise and maturity, and I know he's playing against lesser parent or lesser offensive corps or units, rather, lines, because he's on the third pairing. But when he gets stuck out there against better players, he actually plays pretty well. And I gotta give Gallant a little credit here. He actually sent out to start overtime Lafreniere, Hedel, and Schneider. Schneider started overtime for them. You know what? That shows that he's really earning Gallant's trust. So Gallant's got to be a big, big fan of Schneider, and I don't blame him. I got a Brandon Wheat Kings jersey, and I never got to put Schneider on the back. You know what? Hold on a second. I'll grab that. I'll show you. Yeah, so Brandon Wheat Kings, nothing on the back, but I want to put Schneider on the back of it, and then I want to get the C somewhere on there on the front. So I'm wearing pants. I might not have been wearing pants when Keandre Miller scored that goal and Adam Fox scored his goal, though. So, yeah, Gallant showing trust in kids. What a shock. Sweet. Yeah, I like that. Sweet. Thank you. So I definitely want to get Schneider and his number on the back of that at some point. But this is a pretty sick jersey. I like this. That was a little too much information. Well, oh well. Oh well. What other games are currently on? Let's pop on the good old center ice. Matt, I wouldn't be surprised one bit if Connor McDavid did. He has a chance this year. I don't know if he will. He's kind of behind right now. So Harper is impressed. Yeah, Harper's been impressed. I mean, he's been impressive. Very impressive. I am very impressed with Ben Harper. And the Blackhawks now went up on Colorado 3-2. Ooh, that's not good. That is not good for Colorado. Panthers are still playing the Golden Knights. Senators are still playing the Coyotes. Throw on some games. That's why I have something to watch while I'm on there with you guys and girls. Yeah, David, I would like to see a good two-way guy on the third pairing. I wonder who would really be available. Vladislav Gavrikov from Columbus would be an ideal target for them. I would definitely love for the Rangers to be able to get him. So that would be a good guy. Here's the Chicago. Chicago's wearing their reverse retros. McCarr just literally skated the puck through like three guys out of trouble. He's just something else, man. Colorado feeling the Georgie syndrome. No, McKinnon's back. Rantanen's back. McCarr's there. Rodriguez is playing. They have a lot of their guys back. Bowen Byram, I think, is now. Is he back? I think Bowen Byram's back too. The Sharks are the best reverse retro. I don't think I liked theirs as much. I liked their first reverse retro. The one from 2021 was awesome. I thought that reverse retro was sick. Yeah, I agree. I think they need to add another defenseman. I wouldn't. I would rather go into the playoffs with a better defenseman than Harper, even though Harper's been good for them. Yeah, Georgiev had a tantrum and lost. You don't say. Yanni Hakanpää, yeah. Well, Yanni Hakanpää is a better version of Harper. He's a better version of Harper. He's about the same size. He's a better skater at that size. He's a real good shot blocker. Hakanpää would be great, but Dallas is not moving him, and rightfully so. Yeah, I know the Sharks was a throwback to the Golden Seals. I just didn't like that jersey as much. I didn't think it was good. And I know people liked Florida's reverse retro. I think that theirs was ugly. I liked Montreal's reverse retro, the first reverse retro, not this one, but the first reverse retro with the navy blue, with the darker blue. I thought that one looked just fire. That one looked really good. Simple, effective, changes up the color, just great. I like the Sharks heritage jerseys too. Florida's reverse retros the first time around were arguably the best reverse retro that has been made out of all the reverse retros in the two lines. Their jersey was just awesome. So Colorado's trying to put on the pressure right now. Just over 9 minutes left in that game. So let's see. This is Ottawa and Arizona. Arizona's reverse retro is just ugly. I'm sorry. I just turned on their game, and they're showing a picture of Nemeth, funny enough, celebrating a goal with, looks like Clayton Keller. So, who are they interviewing right now? Dylan Gunther. Wow. The kid gets it. Yeah, I liked Colorado's last time. Ooh, Mikko Mikkola. I mean, you guys are really repping the Finns tonight, the two of you. The two brothers, Tomas and Leo. I love the fact that you guys are bringing up all the Finns, and you actually brought up two good ones. Mikkola would be a great pickup. Great pickup for the Rangers. I wonder if St. Louis would move him. I just, let's see what his cap hit is, because I don't know his cap hit off the top of my head. Oh, he's a UFA at the end of the year, 1.9, so he can, and I think he's still relatively young. Oh, yeah, he's 26. He's 26. He's a big guy, too. 6'4". I think he's around 200 pounds. Cap friendly lists him at 180, but he's not. He's definitely not 180. He's definitely heavier than that. What was my favorite Liberty jersey? The original Liberty jersey. The original. Not the reverse retros. Even though those don't look bad, I like this reverse retro better than I like the other reverse retro. I think the first reverse retro Liberty was just a little too plain. I think they just need to go back to the retro jerseys. I think they need to have a retro line. And the white the white Liberty was just, that was sick. That jersey might be my favorite jersey of all time, actually. So I would say, yeah, the white Liberty was probably my favorite Liberty. I think that out of the ones that are out right now, between the last couple of years, the original Liberty is the best one, but just looking at this game here, they're about to go into the first intermission in Vegas. Florida up 1-0 on Vegas, which is kind of an odd one. Those are the only other games on right now. Tampa's reverse retro here is just, oof, ugly jersey. Chicago's is pretty ugly too. I don't like theirs. Detroit's is ugly. Ooh, is that Georgiev in that, or is that who's in net for Colorado? Is Miller better than Dobson? I'm going to say no as of right now. I think Miller might be better defensively. I think Dobson has a decisive edge offensively, though. I do not like. This is definitely going to be a hot take from you, buddy. Oof. Just no. Just their reverse retro is not good looking. Like I don't even know what you're talking about with Dallas. I don't know. Not a huge fan of Toronto's. Toronto's first reverse retro was pretty cool, but this second one was just bad. The second one was just really bad. The 2012 Rangers Winter Classic is a jersey that you like. Yeah, I mean that was a cool jersey. I actually had one. I had a Richards. So, let's see here. What other jerseys? I would love to get back the 1990s Dallas Stars jersey. It's almost like the reverse retro that they have right now, which I like. I do like their reverse retros a lot. This is, I could definitely, see that, Diane. Just that, and I've been there when that building is shook. I was there for game 6 of the Eastern Conference Finals against Montreal, and I tell you, when Kovalov came back on the jumbotron that second time, and he ripped off the jacket and had that 1994 Stanley Cup Finals T-shirt on, that building absolutely shook. That building shook, and then Dominic Moore scored the goal minutes later. And after Kovalov took the jacket off and you saw the shirt, I literally said to my friend Danny, I was like, "We're winning this game. They are winning this game. They're not losing. They're going to the finals." And they won. And it was just, that's an experience I'll never forget. And then Marty San Luis winner in game 4, I was also there for. And then that was incredible. That was really incredible. Ooh, this is actually a really good question. Top 5 Rangers of all time. All right, so my number 1 is going to be Brian Leetch. I just think that he's the guy. When I think of the Rangers, he's the guy. Number 2, I've got to say Marc Messier, because from his first stint, he was just the best Ranger forward the Rangers had ever seen in his first stint. He won an MVP. I believe he was the first MVP since Andy Bathgate at that point. So I got to go with Messier. He was the captain. I'm talking as Rangers. We're talking top 5 Rangers of all time here. So number 2, I'm going Messier. So I know I might get crap for saying that, because I know there's a lot of Henrik Lundqvist fans, but he's my number 3. And the only reason why he's 3 is because of the fact that they never got that Stanley Cup with him. And Lundqvist was the best goalie of his generation. So you want to put him at 2, you could put him at 2. Honestly, I think they're interchangeable. I grew up with Messier. I went from Messier, and then Lundqvist came shortly after. I've got to say Messier for number 2 for me, and then Lundqvist 3. Number 4, I'm going to say Rod Gilbert. Rod Gilbert was he was Mr. Ranger for the longest time. He's still called Mr. Ranger up until his death. So Rod Gilbert would be number 4 for me. Number 5, I got to say Brad Park, because Brad Park was incredible. He was an incredible Ranger. You could put John Rattel there. You could put some other guys on that list. I mean, just incredible impact on the team. He would have won multiple Norris trophies had he not been playing at the same time as Bobby Orr and Dennis Potvin. That's how good Brad Park was. So, yeah, I do agree. I do agree with you. They never built up the team properly around Hank, and that's not Hank's fault. And I'm not saying it's Hank's fault. I would never imply that. Hank was great. Hank got them there. Hank's one of the best playoff goaltenders in the history of the game. His numbers stack up against guys like Patrick Waugh, Dominic Hasek in the playoffs, Marty Brodeur in the playoffs. It's just that he never had the teams around him that they did. So, Henrik is top 3 for me. There's no way he should fall out of a top 3. You want to put him at 3? Fine. You want to put him at 2? I totally understand having him at 2. But Leetch is the number 1. Leetch is one of the better defensemen of all time. He won 2 Norris trophies. Scored 100 points in 1992. 102 points. Was the 5th defenseman in NHL history to do that. And he won the Conn Smythe, first American to win the Conn Smythe. And he was the first defenseman since Bobby Orr to lead the playoffs in scoring. So yeah, Leach was everything for me. Leach was the guy that I wanted to be like when I played defense. So, yep, just mentioned that before. Tomas, first American to win the Conn Smythe. Incredible. And, yeah, there hasn't been a 30-point defenseman in the playoffs since Leach. I don't think Makar hit it last year. Yeah, I think he fell just short. Oh, Colorado tied the game. 3-3. Looks like Alex Newhook. Yeah, 29 points, Makar, in 20 games. So Eric Johnson puts a shot on net. Yeah, Alex Newhook is going to get this. And that's funny because I mentioned that before the start of the season, Alex Newhook was going to be able to step into the number 2 center role, and Colorado wasn't going to miss a beat. But they've definitely felt the loss of Nazem Kadri. Mike Gartner was another one who should have won a cup. I think Hank goes into the Hall of Fame first ballot. I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't think the cup should hurt him. Yeah, and I would agree with you on David on the Dolphins. Definitely. The best Finn in the NHL right now is definitely Mikko Rantanen. It's definitely Mikko Rantanen. It's absolutely Mikko Rantanen. That might get called back. Mikko Rantanen interfered with Mrazek's leg. He took his stick and he did not. Wow, yeah, I think this might get called back. He interfered with his ability to make the save. There's definitely an argument there. That's Rantanen. I think this is going to get overturned. Wow, incredible. But yeah, it's Rantanen. It's definitely Rantanen right now. But yeah, Mikko Rantanen is on the ice. He's down on his stomach. Connor Murphy puts him down, Gordon Murphy's son. And then he takes his stick and shoves Mrazek's legs and spins him. He shoves his left leg and spins Mrazek. So I you know what? Yeah, I think this has got to get called back. That's blatant interference. Yeah, there's no Brandon Hagel here. I think onions were cut everywhere when Ray Bourque got the cup. And Messier laughing, holding the cup for the Rangers. Yeah, that's a good one. Because he's probably laughing at the fact that, Keenan was probably on his way out. I can't put Hintz ahead of. Oh no, I cannot put Rupe Hintz ahead of Barkov or Saros at this point. And I really, really, really like Rupe Hintz. If you want to put him ahead of Heiskanen, I'm okay with that, especially after last year. Hintz broke out, but mine would probably go. No, I know, Diane. That's why I said I think everyone was cutting onions everywhere because everyone was crying. Everyone, that was just a great moment. Heva Lista. That's how you say good list in Finnish. Yeah, but I'm gonna go 1 Rantanen. Oh, yeah, it got overturned. Yeah, Mikko Rantanen interference got overturned. So, by the way, boys, you two, Leo and Tomas, did I screw up the pronunciation on that? Because I probably did. I have a feeling I did. So, but I'm going to go 1, obviously Rantanen, 2, Barkov, 3, I'll go Saros, 4, Hintz, 5, Heiskanen. Who's the best Norwegian in the NHL? I wonder who that could be. Anybody have any ideas? The best Norwegian. I'm thinking of a guy that's maybe about 5'7". Some people call him a hobbit. Uses a very long stick. Used to play in New York. He had Swedish meatballs, I think, when Hank was bringing out smoothies for everybody. So, oh yeah, no dud here. Teemu Selanne is the greatest Finnish player ever, and I think if Teemu Selanne played with Jari Kurri in Gretzky's prime, I think Teemu Selanne would have had an 80-goal season. Kurri had a 70-goal year playing with Gretzky, and Selanne was a better talent than Kurri was. Saku Koivu is great, and him coming back from the abdominal surgery in 2001-2002 was one of the best moments in NHL regular season history. That was a real feel-good moment. That was another moment where I think a lot of people were cutting onions all over the place. But Saku Koivu was nowhere near Teemu Selanne's level. I'm sorry. I am sorry. It just... So Teemu Selanne is one of the greatest players to ever play the game. And even if you wanted to take away that 70-goal rookie year and say maybe he had a 50-goal rookie year, he still scored over 600 goals, scored over, what was it, 1,400 points I think he had? I think it was 1,300. He was just short of 14 without looking at the top of my head. But 1,457, yeah. So he was a point per game over 1,450 games. The amount of players that played 1,450 games in their careers and were point per game players is a very, very, very small list. Teemu Selanne with that is in some very, very rare company. So, all right. So I'm pulling up the all-time scorers list right now. So obviously Gretzky, Jagr, Messier, Gordie Howe, Ronnie Francis, Marcel Dion, Steve Yzerman, Mario Lemieux, Joe Sakic, Phil Esposito. Phil Esposito doesn't qualify because he didn't play over 1,450 games. Ray Bourque scored over 1,500 points. He almost scored 1,600 points, but he played over 1,600 games and was under a point per game. The next guy that played over 1,450 career games and is a point per game is Teemu Selanne. So it's the top 9 scorers: Gretzky, Jagr, Messier, Howe, Francis, Dion, Yzerman, Lemieux, Sakic, and then Selanne. So Selanne is one of 10 players in the history of the game to score over 1,450 points in over 1,450 career games. That's insane. That's very rare air right there. Yeah, well, Solani is at 17th all time in scoring, yes, but there's only 9 other guys that have scored 1,450 points and are point per game players for their careers. And they're 9 of the very best players ever. I mean, do I think Sidney Crosby is going to eventually play 1,450 career games and pass Teemu Selanne in scoring, which he's going to do with this next point? Yes. I think Sidney Crosby will probably be one of those guys. He'll be added to that list. Alexander Ovechkin might even be added to that list. I just wonder about his point scoring as the years go by. I also wonder about Ovechkin just because I wonder how long he's going to play after he breaks Gretzky's record. Out of all the teams at the bottom, who would I like to see get Connor Bedard? I think Arizona needs him. Arizona needs him. They do. You would have Gunther, Bedard. You would have some real good players on that team going forward. They absolutely need him. I don't want to see Chicago get him. I think Chicago should suffer for their transgressions with the Brad Aldrich saga, and that I don't want to see Connor Bedard go there. I think that would be bad for the league, and I don't think they're going to get him at this point, which would be good if the NHL rigged it to not have it go to Chicago. But let him go to Arizona. Let him go to Arizona and let him help save Arizona, because Arizona needs a legitimate franchise player. They haven't had one since Keith Tkachuk. So, and Chicago is trying to fend off this lead right now. It's getting real chippy in front of that net. Woof. Guys poking at the puck. Jonathan Taves just grabbed Cal McCarr and looked like he wanted to pound him. Just beat his head in. Can't blame you, Taves. He's got a punchable face. No. Let's not put that bad juju on anyone. Penguins, no. Penguins better not win that lottery. I don't think the Coyotes are going anywhere. I really don't. I don't. I could be wrong, but I don't think they're going anywhere. I think they're going to find a way to make that work. It's just the city and everything, and the ownership. The ownership has pockets. Wait, so that game's over? You're ahead? All right, so my feed must be behind. I'm watching on cable too, which is really weird. Yeah, no problem, Matt. I figured that was the case. So I just figured I was like, because it looked like it was the same exact comment. I was like, he's probably having connection issues. So let's see here. I want to see the scores in this game. Oh, yeah. It's behind. My feed's behind by a lot. Wow. I'm going to probably go another 5 minutes. So definitely get your comments and everything in. Chicago ends up beating Colorado. Colorado not looking good in the standings right now. Not looking good. The new Arizona arena gets. Yeah, I would like to see Arizona get a new arena. I really would like to. They need it. I would like to, and Leo says he'd like to see 2 more teams added to the NHL. A team in Houston and the resurgence. I would love to see Quebec come back. So let's go with that win. Yep. Big win for the Rangers tonight. Big win. Let's go to another game. Ottawa and Arizona is still on right now. Ottawa is up 3-2 in that one. Yeah, so Colorado loses. So they are still 4 points back of Edmonton. They're going to have still 3 games at hand on Edmonton, which is good for Colorado. But Connor McDavid gets hot. Ooh, that's not going to be good for Colorado. Yes, please like, share, and subscribe, as Marc says. We would appreciate that here at Big Apple Hockey. And that asks, do I think we can win at the deadline? We can win the division. I don't know if they can win the division. I do think that if you get the right pieces at the deadline, they could head hot into the playoffs like they did last year. And I think that might be the formula that Drury and Gallant are looking for right now, is to make that big deadline move. They're tied with the Devils now, 55 points. They're 4 points behind Carolina. Carolina has a game in hand. I'm not worried about them making the playoffs. They're in a good position. They just need to continue to play, I would say, 550, 600 hockey going forward. And they'll be fine. So let's see what other Kansas City Scouts need to come back. Yeah, I think they're playing somewhere in Newark, I think. Rangers and Devils in the first round. I think the Rangers would beat them. I think the Rangers would beat them badly in the first round. I think the Rangers win that series in 5, especially if they go and they make deadline acquisitions. Oh, man. I don't think the Devils are that good of a team. I really don't. I think they're young. They're inexperienced. I don't think they're ready yet. Oh, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Yeah, Seattle not only beat Boston in regulation, Mark, but they won 3-0 in Boston. Now, I don't know when the last time they got shut out on home ice is, but it's got to be a long time ago. The thoughts on the selling from Panarin and Fox, love it. Love it. Love it. Go nuts. Go nuts. You had the moxie to come back and win that game. Go nuts. Have yourselves a ball. You guys love this. Your brother said this before, Leo, that Tolvanen was playing well. You guys are loving this. You guys are loving seeing the Finns go off. It's awesome. Great. You guys must have been happy that U.S. beat Sweden in the bronze medal game, the World Juniors, then too, because I knew you guys hate Sweden. Yeah, I know. First time at home, first home regulation win, or first home regulation loss for Boston, and oof, a 3-0 shutout. My God. Yeah, what a choke by the Finns. Yikes. Oosh. Czechs played well though. Gotta give them credit. Tell you, David Jiricek, I think he's going to be a stud in the NHL, man. I think he's going to be a stud. So, But I am going to wrap this up for the night. Thank you all for coming on with me. I've been pretty damn busy lately. A lot of stuff happening. Had a death in the family. So been pretty busy. Trying to do the dating game too as well. So try to do more of these. I know I say that and then I end up not doing it, but I want to really try to get more of these in. So more and more I can do these, and time frees up. It'd be nice. So again, thank you all for joining. Appreciate the kind words and everything as well. Please like, share, and subscribe, and keep tuning into us. The Wednesday show is a regular. Always going to be on there. We're always going to have that unless something really, really bad happens. So, but yes, keep tuning in. We're going to keep giving you more content, and definitely going to try to come up with new segments and new countdowns and different things, lists and so on, different debates. So it's all churning. We just got to figure it out. So again, thank you. Appreciate it. You all have a good night, and let's go Rangers.